for tuning in. Today we're going to go over how to create customers and jobs in Flyerlink. So I'm on the home screen here in Flyerlink, and there's some quick links for you on the left here to quickly create jobs and customers. That's one way that you can do it. But the way that I'm going to show you today is by going to Store, Customers, and Create. So the first thing we're going to need to fill in is the business name. So I'm just going to call this the company. And the account code, the first two initials are going to be your company's name. So our location is Richard Street here, so mine would just begin with RS. And then you can make up an acronym for the remaining letters. It doesn't have to be anything that you're going to remember them by. It's just something that sort of makes sense for that company. So I'm just going to say ZCOM. So the account code you'll want to be in all caps, and the rest of the information here we'll want to make sure is in upper and lower case. I'm going to go ahead and key in my address. The legal name only needs to be different if it's a DBA or something like that. So if it's the same company, you don't need to worry about filling that out. Now, UPS does prefer that if there's a building or a suite number that you go ahead and put that information on the second line here. Go ahead and key in our city, state, and it will require you to put in a contact name. All right, so we're going to click Create Contact, and it will take us to the next screen. Okay, so we have to fill out some more information here. So right at the top, we've got our customer name, our customer code, and the total spend. And once you've created the customer code, that cannot be changed, but you can change any other information about this account that you need to on this screen. So the title would just be Mr. or Mrs. if you wish to put that in, the position with the company. If that person leaves the company, we can defunct them, as it's called, or you can choose to just write over their information with the new contact name. It's up to you. The telephone number, and you can fill in all the additional phone numbers if you wish. The email address. And if someone doesn't want to be contacted in a particular way, such as they don't want to be called or they don't want to be emailed or something like that, you can just tick the box where it says Do Not Contact. And if you ever run a list from Flyerlink, it will simply exclude them from that list, so they won't be included on an e-shot. When the job is printed here at the hub, you can choose to have the customer emailed an invoice. You could also choose to have them emailed a shipping alert when it has dispatched here from the hub. You can also choose to have payment receipts emailed. This is entirely up to you. Some people like it done through Flyerlink. Some people don't want them notified at all. It's really just your preference. If you want that turned off for your entire work group, we can do that. Maybe you're invoicing from QuickBooks or something like that. So it's entirely up to you how you want to do that. Key in your website. And the username and password, this is the username and password for either my.printing.com if you're a printing.com partner, or if you're a white label, it will take them to the OrderLink site. This is basically the customer interface where they can look at proofs, accept jobs, upload files, and things like that. So if it's a new account, I would highly encourage changing this to something easy for them to remember, and then this will prompt them to go ahead and go to the site, let them know they have a new account, and that they can check it out, and this is how they can sign in. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And if this little box is ticked right here, it will email them those new sign-in details. You can also choose to have them CC'd on proof emails. Now, if you want to set up more contacts for this account, you can do that. Each person will get a unique username and password for the ordering site, so there's no need for anybody to share information with another person. They can all have their own unique ID, and you can choose to have those individuals CC'd on proofs as well. I'm going to go ahead and save my changes up until now. So scrolling down, there's my address. You can add in additional addresses if you wish. I would encourage this if you're doing business with a company that has multiple locations. Go ahead and get those into Flyerlink so that if you place an order and it's going somewhere else, Flyerlink will prompt you for those addresses rather than having to key them in every time. financial profile here, which is basically how you want to financially deal with this customer. You can put them on terms or cash before print. You can choose to have them send group invoices that are consolidated weekly, maybe if they're doing a lot of business with you. You can have them choose to be shown the offer of the month on the forms. Got your default tax code here. You can key in your tax number if they're exempt. The category in store will be pre-filled with your information. File risker just basically means you trust that person's file. Maybe you've been doing business with this customer for a while. You know their files are good and you trust them. You can make them a file risker, which basically means you're not charging them to check their files. That's entirely up to you. We do recommend always checking files, no matter who they're from, before they go to print, but you don't necessarily have to charge this person if you don't want to, if you trust their files. Plain packaging. All the white label partners will automatically have plain packaging, but if you're a printing.com partner, if you tick this box, that just means that all of the orders that go out will be in plain packaging. It'll be blind shipped. It'll look like it's coming from you with no mention of printing.com. You can also choose for free delivery so that they won't be charged when they place orders. On stop void. There's really no way to delete an account out of Flyerlink, so if this customer or business goes out of business, then you can just tick this box. It will gray out their account details, and then you wouldn't be able to place orders with them anymore. If they come back to life, you can simply untick the box and continue to do business as usual. Knowledge notes, you can put in any knowledge that you have about this customer. Maybe they did an envelope and letterhead, and they really need to get some business cards and postcards. So you can key in some notes about that for your team. Also, maybe let them know about an upcoming trade show or something like that. And then if you want to, you can even choose to use this as sort of a Franklin planner and schedule a new call. So if they told you they've got an exhibition coming up in 2 months, you can choose to schedule a call, pull down this list, and then make sure your team is following up on those scheduled calls to be made. Source, you can track down where a person's coming from, or maybe how well a sale did or something like that. Find out if your Google search is working, whatever the case may be. You can even assign it to particular sales associates as to where that customer came from. Same thing with business size. You can pull down various lists based on the size of the business, and also the business type. We have a lot of offers of the month that cater to particular sectors of businesses, so if you're carefully tracking these and putting these in Flyerlink, you can then run marketing reports later that will just help you sort of hone in on your marketing. And then the profiling section, if you want to put somebody at a particular value or how well you think they're going to do, this is the inquiry stage, which is just another term for prospect or someone that you haven't done business with yet. So you can choose to put them at a particular dollar level that you think they will spend, and then once they become a customer, you can actually go ahead and fill in that dollar amount. Okay. So scrolling back up here, everything that pertains to this customer is going to be on the left. So you can look at all the active and completed jobs. You can quickly create a job. Take a look at all the active and completed orders. You can create an order, look at open quotes, closed quotes. You can create a quote. The preferences will just generate a history for what has happened with this account, so it'll just show you what date it was created and who by, and if any changes occur with that account. File upload and storage. This is an area where you can keep files for a customer, so you can feel free to upload images or logos, or maybe mailing lists, or anything that you just want to store in with that customer's details. There's a financial tab here where you can key in some financials. Contact management, you can go ahead. This is where you can send them emails, look at call history and things like that if you want to track that here. This would be any feedback and analysis from the hub here regarding any jobs, and then any templates that you might have for that customer. So I am going to go ahead and create a job. So I'm within this customer's account. I'm going to create a job. So Flyerlink knows, because I'm in this customer details, who this job is going to be for. If you just go to create a job from the home screen, you would have to then associate it with a customer. So I prefer to be in the customer details and then go ahead and place the order. So place one for a business card. Got the date that it's ordered here. You can put in a PO number if you wish or some sort of customer reference. I'm going to key in for a regular business card. So I'm typing in ECR, which is the code for a regular business card, and I'm going to go ahead and select the 4/4 card. So you don't have to memorize those codes. You can always refer back to our product Bible, which is under Docs and Images and Product Bible if you want to search for something, or you can just simply click on Select a Product, and it will give you drop-downs for all of the product categories. The quantity, you can select a quantity here. The ship-in date is going to give you the normal time. We operate Monday through Friday, so Flyerlink is always going to calculate those days for you. This is going to ship in 2 days. Tax code. And again, because I was within this customer details, it's already got the customer information pre-filled for us. Okay. So the next screen is going to become very familiar to you. This is what all the job screens will look like. So I've got the title, PO number, got my product. If I hover over this little eye here, it's going to give me some little hints about this product, the stock, the size, and how much it weighs. Got my product here. If I need to change this product throughout the life of a job, I can simply click on this box and go right back and start all over by choosing a new product. Got your quantities here, which you can change. Contract review, this is just basically saying, has the customer seen the order form? Have they accepted it? We always recommend making sure that someone knows what they're paying, has agreed to the proper stock and quantity, and all those details before sending an order to print, as well as looking at the proof. So if someone were to go to their website and check out the order form, this would automatically pre-fill that it was accepted at my.printing.com. You can also fill in many other ways with the order form approval. The statuses are basically how we move a job throughout its life. So if I were to send out a proof today, I would change the status in Flyerlink to 33. Maybe if it came back for some changes, I would then move it to 53. Once it was approved, I would move it to 71. And then once a file is uploaded to Flyerlink with the proper information, the proper name, then the status 81 would show up as an option for you. And that's sort of the magic term here at the Hub for a job going to print. So did you 81 a job? That just means that you sent the job to print. So it's very important that you're moving your jobs through the statuses. We don't move them for you. And we only look for jobs here at the Hub to put into production that are at 81. So when your job is ready to go, make sure you put it to 81. And what you can do is print out a job summary report. We'll talk about reports a little more on the last webinar for Flyerlink, which is normally on Fridays. But yeah, if you want to take a look at that, you can basically download a report and it will show you where all the jobs are within your system so that you're not losing track and that you can keep up with those with your team. We've got a time tracker here where you can track your hours on a job. You've got options here to change your ship-in date. You can either slow it down or speed it up. This lets you know what the target shipping date is if you 81 it before 7 o'clock that evening. So the cutoff time is going to be 7 o'clock, and that would be your target shipping date if that happened today by 7 o'clock. And then you've got your expected shipping, and then once that goes from here, it will show a date that it has been shipped for sure. You've got your date ordered here. You can put in a date that the client requires it by if you wish. All your customer information is pre-filled here. I'm just going to click Save Changes. Okay, so on the left-hand side of the screen, these are all the things that would pertain to this particular job. So I'm just going to run down the list here. So we're in our job summary screen. If you've ever gone through any of these tabs and you're kind of lost, just click back to the job summary and it will take you right back here. History, this will always give you the entire history of the job, so you can see who did what to this job on what date. So again, that's why keeping up with your statuses is so important, because if you ever have any questions about the job, you can always see what has gone on with that job in the History tab. The Runs tab is for us here at production. It just lets us know what run that particular job was on. If you needed to change your shipping, you can do that here. Financials, any notes that you might need to make. Let's take a look in the printouts. So with each job are some standard printouts that are generated. So I would highly recommend printing out a job sheet, which is basically the internal information about this job. This is something that you can put into a page protector and sort of put this through the shop throughout the life of the job. It's just something your team can refer to. It gives you the product, the description, how many, the size, basically all the information that you would need regarding that job. And then the order form, this is something we would recommend that you send to your customer via PDF. So again, all the information is here. There's no questions as to what they're ordering or how much or what it's going to cost. And here on the left-hand side, this would be pre-filled with your information. So if you're a white label and you're not a printing.com, this would be your logo. Your address would be over here. This would totally look like it was coming just from you. So I would download those two forms. Or if you'd like, you can email them right through Flyerlink. So you can choose to email your customer here. And there's going to be sort of some pre-filled information that you can edit, and this would go as an attachment to the customer. If there were any quality notes about the job, again, any feedback that production might have had for you would be there. And the Files and Pre-Flighting tab. We'll talk about this more in the file checking video, but this is where the files would be uploaded and stored that the client sends through their website. So you can choose to upload files here, and when customers send files to you, this is where they would appear, and then you can initiate the file checking function here. And then once that goes through pre-flighting, you would then see a production file generated here, and it would give you a report and let you know what happened with that file check. If you choose to use Flyerlink for payments, you can log payments here. Purchase allocations. You can create a reprint or a reorder. Reprint is sort of a bad thing. That would be, if the job went bad or something was wrong, that would be the case where it was a reprint. A reorder is sort of the happy word in print. That means it was printed perfectly before, and this customer wants to create a reorder. So reorder is a good thing. You can do that right here. You can create a new job. You can also create duplicates. So if you're working with a company and maybe they want to order 50 sets of business cards, you can quickly create duplicates of a job here and then collect them together as an order. And the only difference between a job and an order is a job is just one single job, and then an order is a collection of jobs. So you can take a look at online proofs that were generated through the pre-flighting. Got incomplete and complete jobs, and then any vouchers that might apply. Okay, so everything that we've discussed today would be in the Flyerlink user manual. If you have any questions on what we've covered today, you can go to the Home tab in Flyerlink, and under the training section or the document section here on the right, there is a shortcut to go ahead and get the Flyerlink user guide, which is right here. So I would go ahead and set up a test job or maybe create a test quote. Go ahead and play around in Flyerlink. You're not going to break it. And just let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for tuning in.